One of these 3 trolling motors had corroded brush springs and water pooled inside the lower unit at the 1,000 hours. The motor next to it on the workbench, same hours, same lake. Looked like it came off the assembly line last week. Not because of brand loyalty, not because of price, because one uses a motor design from 1970 and the other doesn't. Here's what took a long time to figure out. Every major trolling motor brand, Minn Kota, MotorGuide, and Lowrance, uses copper wound armatures and composite shafts. The internet war about aluminum windings versus copper is a ghost story. It doesn't exist in this product category. The real variable hiding inside the lower unit is whether your motor runs on brushes or doesn't. And 2 of these 3 brands sold you a brushed motor at a 4-figure price and hoped you'd never open it up. By the end of this video, you'll know which motor architecture survives 1,000 hours, which brand just got discontinued and left owners stranded, and the part number Lowrance quietly revised because they knew it was failing. Let's get into it. Number 1. Minn Kota Ulterra. You bought this motor because it deploys and stows itself at the push of a button. That auto-deploy mechanism is the single most documented chronic failure in the entire trolling motor market. A Minn Kota authorized dealer admitted publicly that 5 out of 10 customers raised reliability concerns about the Ulterra. 5 out of 10. That's a coin flip, not a fluke rate. Pulled a trim housing cover off an Ulterra with high hours, and here's what you find on the workbench. A worm gear corroded and locked solid. A trim motor with rusted bearings and standing water inside the housing, even though it was never submerged. One owner on the iFish forum went through 3 Ulterras in 6 months. Minn Kota redesigned the mechanism in 2017. The failure rate dropped, but it didn't disappear. Open the lower unit on a Terrova or Ulterra at 800 hours, and the control board is the usual suspect. The whole truth has a thread literally titled, "Yet another Minn Kota control board failure." The pattern is identical every time. Shaft seals compress, water wicks pass the prop into the lower unit, brush springs corrode, the motor pulls excess amps, and the current spike fries the main board. Minn Kota tech support tells customers the motor usually takes the board out with it. Both need replacing. That's a $500 repair on a motor you already paid $2,000 for. And if you charge your trolling motor batteries while the motor is still plugged into the boat's wiring, you can fry the iPilot board instantly. Documented on every Minn Kota model with digital controls. There is no surge protector on that circuit. Number 2. MotorGuide She-5. Let me tell you something marine electronics shops know that most trolling motor buyers don't. The She-5's GPS module and control board are the signature failure on this motor. Spot lock disengages on its own. The motor head wraps its own power cord around the shaft while spinning in circles. Owners report paying $410 just for the GPS module replacement. One guy on BBC boards had a 3-month-old G5 where the service center replaced 2 boards and a GPS module before figuring out the real fix was a dealer-only software dongle. A separate shop reported that half the motors they ran that dongle update on ended up with bricked boards, and MotorGuide was fighting warranty claims on every one. Now pause. MotorGuide is owned by Mercury Marine. Mercury Marine is a division of Brunswick Corporation. Remember that name? Brunswick. Because here's the part that should stop you. On October 14th, 2024, Brunswick officially discontinued the MotorGuide brand. Production ceased. The trolling motor line that competed with Minn Kota for decades is gone. Every She-5 and Tour Pro on the market is sitting on clearance shelves with a shrinking parts pipeline behind it. You buy a MotorGuide today, you're buying a motor from a dead brand. Everything in this video. The corroded brush springs, the fried control boards, the silent part revisions, those are things you can physically check before you buy if you know where to look. The pre-purchase inspection checklist inside the bilge files is 47 points, printable, built for exactly this. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description and pinned comment. If you've made it this far, you already know this channel isn't about telling you what to buy. It's about cracking things open and showing you what the marketing never will. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing it. We do this every single week. Number 3. Lowrance Ghost, Brunswick, the same corporation that just killed MotorGuide. Also owns Lowrance through its Navico division, a acquired for $1.05 billion in 2021. They retired the brushed motor brand and consolidated everything under the brushless one. And here's why. Crack the Ghost lower unit open at 1,000 hours and there are no brushes to inspect, no commutator to glaze. The Ghost runs a brushless 3-phase DC motor with rare earth permanent magnets. There is nothing inside the lower unit designed to be consumed by use. At 1,000 hours, the brushed Terrova lower unit is on borrowed time. The brushless Ghost lower unit looks like it did at hour 1, but the Ghost has its own defect, and Lowrance knows about it. The head sensor assembly is a documented known failure. A Lowrance specialist confirmed it directly on the Western Base forum. Symptoms are 5 beeps, a flashing arrow, locked steering, and erratic spot lock circles. Lowrance quietly revised the part to a version 2 sensor. Dealer marketing copy says they added a new component to prevent failure. There's been no public service bulletin, no recall filed with the Coast Guard. They silently swapped the part and moved on. One more thing. The Lowrance Ghost is freshwater only. Per Lowrance's own operator manual, using the Ghost in saltwater voids the warranty entirely. There is no Ghost saltwater model. If you fish inshore, this motor is not built for your water. That's the Teardown. And before we go further, the point was never to scare you into keeping your foot pedal cable steer from 1995. The point is to show you what's actually inside the housing so you spend smarter. Here's who earned a spot. If you fish freshwater and want a motor that clears 1,000 hours without a lower unit teardown, the Lowrance Ghost X or the Minn Kota Quest series are the only 2 architectures built to do it. Both are brushless. Both eliminate the seal and brush wear path that kills every Terrova and every MotorGuide at high hours. The Ghost X starts around $38.99. The Quest runs higher. Neither is cheap, but neither is a $500 board replacement every season. If you fish saltwater or brackish water, the Minn Kota Riptide Terrova Quest is the only brushless option with a dedicated corrosion package, stainless hardware, sacrificial zinc anode, powder-coated lower unit housing. The Ghost cannot go in salt, and if you're on a budget and willing to do your own maintenance, a used Terrova or a closeout Tour Pro will give you 500 to 800 clean hours if you replace the brush and seal kit before things cascade. That kit costs $30 to $60. The control board it saves costs $500. Drop your motor brand in the comments. Tell me how many hours you've put on it. I'll be in there. You now know something that most people running a trolling motor on their bow right now don't know. The gap between brushed and brushless is the only teardown detail that matters at 1,000 hours. The copper windings, the composite shaft, the marketing about indestructible this and lifetime that. It's all the same across every brand. The motor architecture is where the money is. Spend accordingly. YouTube thinks you'll like one of these 2 videos, so tap it. And if you stuck around to the end of this one, subscribe. You'll want to be here next week when we crack open the lower units on 3 outboard brands and show you what 2,500 hours does to the gear case. That one's going to make this look like a warm-up.